Okay, so, okay. I was gonna show you see, the whole house is made of these bricks. This used to be the front of the house here. And there used to be these beautiful canvas awnings that came out, but then my uncle put on this a long time ago. He's a builder in the next town over in Naperville, and he found this. Someone had ordered it custom and left it at the pickup yard, and so he bought it and he put it up here. Originally, the tops of these porches used to have just flat fiberglass pieces on it. Let's see, I got the old Jollity windows. Yeah, I gotta clean a lot of stuff out here. The old Jollity windows still on here. I just have to put the pipe on, but. And the old stove that was up from the basement. Old everything. Yep. Never seen my house, have ya? Then Joe, we took down the barbecue pit, and Joe made a sidewalk out of the original bricks. But I'm trying to see if you can see some bricks that have the. I don't think they face the BARR out a lot, but you can see it definitely on the sidewalk. See the BARR? If you go like this. Burlington Aurora Railroad. And then all in the front of my house, I know people think this is sacrilegious, but I have old cast iron farm equipment and old Red Wing. Yeah, I used to collect tons and tons of all the old jugs in front. And then trying to see if I can. There's my car. Steve McQueen car, red and black inside with racing stripes. But if you go down there, right down like where my finger's pointing at the there's a bridge that goes up. I don't know if you can see it because of all the. But where the bridge goes up, that's the railroad. And the railroad goes this way, back and forth. The commuter trains and the commercial trains. So, and see, this is the front porch of my house. The doorways are super small. Oop, bonk me in the head. With the giant fireplace inside, and then I don't really feel like opening up the gates, but then I've got the side porch over here. Same thing. It's beautiful here in the summertime. It's just gorgeous. I love this house. Can you imagine making all this? They'd have to go out when it was super cold down to the Burlington Aurora Railroad in Aurora, Illinois, and they'd have to chip the tar off these bricks. You can see they're not all perfect, but they weren't thinking about that at the time. And they would pay a nickel for each brick. So, yeah, and I've got some of them in the house over the years. But I found those canvas tops in the basement, and they were just trashed. This is the original front door with the door knocker on it. And I've got all these. This is my grandma's wallpaper project. Starting to reach the end of its life, but Joe and I are going to redo that. I've got the boxed in window boxes. Here's all my jewelry trayed up, kind of like falls into the. There's a fireplace, and then this is where I have the puppies right now, fortunately. Yeah, my grandma, when she did this wallpaper project, it was her pride and joy. Took her a long time. And then I've got these like a rounded. Then you come in here, and it's like we redid the bathroom. The bathroom was bad when we first came in here. And then that used to be my mom's room. It's Armand's room now. Just really small. This place is super small. Small little rooms. Everything's on radiator heat. And then our room in here. This used to be my grandparents' room. There's some really cool things in this house. Everything's got glass handles on it. This is just like a side where you put your towels and stuff. I didn't make any beds or anything this morning, but there's like no lights here, but you can see these lights are super old. And so my uncle, they had 3 kids that passed away, and then my mom was born and she got that room. And then my Uncle Bill, he had to sleep at the foot of the bed in my grandparents' bedroom. And then he come to the kitchen. I sold the original stove for, and this is just like the original stove, but I sold it. I'm like, I want to modernize. And I was so bummed out I did. Then I found this stove in Chicago. Someone was selling it for $75. And I paid somebody almost right around $1,000 to go get it and then bring it here. And I refurbished it, put it in here. Joe eats pieces all the time. But then my grandma did all this, like decoupage. Little did she know that we were gonna be like, you see, like the Art Deco. She did all this. Yep. All that she did, all that stuff on the wood. Kind of makes me want to cry. I remember being here when I was a little kid. All this she did. And then all this hardwood floor. There's the puppies. This was all old school linoleum that I had. I would come after work and I would just pick it off piece by piece and chip it off until I got to the bare hardwood floor. I can't even imagine doing that again. And then check this out. So there's these little things in the wall. There's one right behind here. This one comes out and it's got a little ironing board. They're very shallow. They're only about that deep. And then in here, let's see if I can open this one so you can see inside. They're super shallow and they're hard to close. And then this goes out to the other porch, Chow Chow Street. And my uncle also redid the top on here, took the fiberglass off and has the jalousie windows in. And then that leads out to the backyard. And then my grandpa built that. Who builds a 2-car garage, you know? They only had 1 car, and then there used to be a big barbecue pit right here. It was falling down. Joe took it down. Joe's grandpa's a mason, so he knows how to tuck point and things like that. But Joe's got his Model A's and Model T's in there. And then this also had a cover to it. There's the original. My grandpa's name was Christ, but the mailman would be like, because I used to work at this post office in town, and they'd be like, yeah, your Grandpa Christ was out by the mailbox and your grandma would be yelling at him. And I just look at him. They're like, oh, was his name Christ? And I'm like, yes. No, Jesus was my grandfather. And then here is going down to the basement. And we redid the whole basement. We put like a, it's pretty cool. Let's see. I'll just put this on YouTube. It's going to be big if you're interested in what my house looks like. So over here is where that stove used to be. That's on the porch upstairs. And then a lot of these older houses, they had a porch downstairs, which I'm sure you know about. Then we cleaned all this out. This is the laundry area. It's still pretty rudimentary, but Joe dropped, there's a sump pump there, and then Joe dropped a second sump pump in because his father works for plumbers and pipe fitters. And then I always wanted a second bathroom. and he put in a second bathroom for me, which was amazing. So the bathroom upstairs is mine, and this is for the guys down here, which I thought was pretty cool. So I finally got my bathroom. Freezer in the basement. The old heating system, all my shipping supplies and random crap. And then people think, yeah, it looks like a small house, and it is, but let me go back up the stairs to the main floor. And then, yeah, like if I ever see glass doorknobs, I get them because everything. Hey, what's up, buddy? If you go around here, we just keep this on here because my grandma always used to keep stuff on the stairs, and now I do too. But this goes up to the music studio. We took all the railings off because when we had to load our equipment from the band, the railings would get in the way. So it's a little dangerous because it has the super old. Oh, here's a good. See, these bricks are everywhere. You can see how the stairs go down and then they curve. More than one musician has fallen down those stairs, usually because they were drinking. All Joe's guitars and stuff. That was our band piece road. All of our mains and monitors are in here. When I moved in, you couldn't even see from one end to the other. It was just slats all the way back. So we put in knee walls, and we drywalled it all out. All slats on the floor. We put in a new subfloor, and then put in this, it needs to be vacuumed up here. Armand kind of took it over. This is kind of a carpet that they have in the schools. It's like super durable nylon. And then these, you can notice the colors kind of match the stove on the front porch. These were down in the basement. Originally, they were on the second floor. They were a temporary kitchen until my grandparents could afford a different kitchen with more updated appliances. But we have all the an in-house drum kit, in-house recording studio, in-house amplifiers. You name it. Still some stuff up here from my pickin' days. These are two of the things from my pickin' days. These are completely full of CDs. And Joe, will not let me touch them. I'm like, dude, this is... A guy passed away down the street from us. And he had all these. And so... I did an estate sale for them, and whatever was left, I just bought off them. Oh, nice, Armand. Just leave your drink cups up here. But then you can see, he leaves his guitars like this. That guitar right there cost almost $6,000. Joe let him play it. He's going to hear about that when he gets home today. Here's Joe's Marshall's half stack. But then up here you can see, like if you look way over there, that's a railroad. And then the backyard, which you haven't seen, but there's an acre back that way. My grandpa would built walls and stuff. Yeah, so it's pretty. People are amazed at what we did up here because this you couldn't even see. I'm afraid of heights, and I would hand stuff to Joe out that window, and he would put it in the dumpster. There's stuff from like my grandma. She did everything. Everything was up here. It was insane, but a lot of it had started falling apart and had to be thrown away. And Joe was my person to tell me, look, this really needs to go. So anyway, yeah, then you have to be really careful because there's no railing, but you can look out here and see there's my car and Yackley Avenue. Needs to be cleaned, for sure. Ozzy knows how to do stairs. Come on, Ozzy. Ozzy, come here. Oh, he's the only one that really knows stairs. I'm afraid he's gonna fall off this. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay.